Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for joining today's web conference, Getting Started with VSPS. With that, I'll turn the call over to Tracy Samuelson. Tracy, please go ahead.
All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you could make it today. Again, my name is Tracy Samuelson. I'm the IT specialist for USDA APHIS Veterinary Services, and I'm located in the Bismarck, North Dakota office. And I'm also part of the VSPS Network Associates, which is a group of people who are available to answer questions and for training assistance, such as doing this. Today we'll be going over VSPS for state regulatory officials and what you can search for in VSPS. I'll be showing you an example of what the searches will look like today, and I'll also be going over how to get access to VSPS and then also some troubleshooting tips for logging in and such. There will be another webinar at a later date, next month I believe, where I'll be going over each module in VSPS more in depth, showing you exactly how to get your search results and different things you can search for. But today is more of an overview of what you would see after you do your search. And I apologize if the slides delay a little bit. All right, so with the SRO role, which is a state regulatory official role, what you'll be able to do in VSPS is search for and view details on international animal imports that have a destination of your state. And you can view interstate CVIs that have an origin or destination of your state, and you'd be able to process interstate certificates coming into your state. So that means you would be able to either accept or reject each certificate. You can manage state certification statements for your state so that veterinarians, when they're in VSPS entering interstate CVIs, that they can easily add those required statements for your state. You'll be able to view Coggins tests completed in your state, and you can also search for Coggins that have been submitted but not yet completed also. You can view details on accredited veterinarians, including accredited status, showing if they're active or expired or terminated. There's many different things to search for there. The renewal date you'll be able to see, and which category they're approved for, and many other details on their record. You will be able to export your search results to an Excel file for Coggins and for your CVI searches. All right. I'll be showing you an example of what you can search for here. So this screen shows a search result for when we do a search in the animal import module, showing the international animal imports coming into your state. So I'm from North Dakota, so my search results are showing interstate or international travel certificates that are coming into my state here. There's many different things you can see on this screen. You can see the document number, the reservation number if there was one, the created on date, the date of entry when the animals came in, which port they crossed through, a broker if there is one, the importer name, what type of animals came through, and if it was a live animal or embryos, semen, how many came through, the purpose, what origin, so which country they're coming from, and where they're going to for the destination, and then the status of the animal import. You can also sort by different columns on here. You can sort by the document number created on, so if you want to see most recent and such, that's there. But you can sort by any column here. All right, then we have the Interstate Module. In this module, you can search for and view interstate CVIs that have an origin or destination of your state, so either coming into your state or ones that have left. You can approve or reject the CVIs that have entered your state. You only approve or reject ones coming into your state, not ones that have left. It's the responsibility of the state that received the animals in order to approve or reject the CVIs. You can search for retro CVIs, which are certificates that have been entered by the origin or destination. So if you have paper CVIs that you want to enter into VSPS, you would enter it in the R CVI section, which then allows you to be able to go back and search for that animal information more easily. You can export search results to Excel, and also manage the state certification statements for your state. So the veterinarians can add those statements. And here's an example of a search result with the destination of North Dakota. You can view each certificate individually by just clicking on the view next to the little PDF icon, or you can view a group at a time in order to review and then approve or reject each certificate. We'll go into more details of that on the next webinar. You're able to sort by any of these column headings, and you can also use the Download CSV button on the bottom there to get your results in Excel. There's many things you can search for and get results in this area also. So you can view for just approved certificates. You can search for ones that have been rejected. Many different options. There you can also enter in the search box there on the top, like a certificate number if you're looking for many different things. All right, and this is the screen for approving or rejecting the certificate. So this is what you would see if you checked the boxes and you wanted to review a group of certificates. You have to approve CVI, reject CVI, and then next to get to the next one, and then return to find to get to your search results screen again. And here you can see all the details of the certificate. And here's the state certification statement screen. They'll have your state flag next to them. So when the accredited veterinarian is creating the certificate, they'll be able to see the statements for the state of destination and be able to select them. On the screen, you have the ability to deactivate a statement if it was just for certain time periods. You can edit them, or you can delete each statement. And this shows what the accredited veterinarian would see when they go to create a certificate, a CVI. So here you can see there's many different little flags signifying different states and certification statements. So all they would have to do, since they're already entered, is just click on the little plus sign, and it would go over into the remarks area, so they can add them very easily. Makes it very quick for them. They can also manage their own statements and add and remove in case states haven't added the statements, so they can add them themselves. And here's a CVI showing where that state certification would show up at. It goes under the state certification requirements area on the CVI. And then we have the labs area, which is where you go to view the Coggins that have been completed in your state. Again, you can sort by any of these column headings, and you can search by veterinarian, by date range, by many different criteria. So you can search for ones that are just completed, or if you just wanted to see ones that were submitted but not yet done. So you can view, search by serial number, Then here you have the vet name would show which lab what they were submitted to, the status, which would be completed or submitted, what date they were created, and then at what date they submitted them to the lab. And then if the lab has entered the results, then there would be the complete date when the status is completed. If there's no, if the status is submitted, then there would be no complete date. And this is what the electronic Coggins 1011 looks like. If you click on View on your search screen, it takes you to be able to see the 1011. And this is, you can see it's an official copy after the lab enters the results and submits it. That makes the Coggins form an official copy. And after that, no changes can be made by the lab or the veterinarian any longer, so it's considered official. These can be printed out if needed, or they're stored in VSPS, so there probably isn't a need to print them off unless your office needs them. And then we have the vet accreditation area. You can do many different searches here, viewing details on the accredited veterinarians, including their accredited status, renewal date, category, and this is just a search result example for accredited veterinarians in North Dakota. Since it was an open search, I searched for all veterinarians in North Dakota, it gives me everybody. So on the bottom left, it'll give you the total number of veterinarians found, and you can scroll through the pages there, clicking the number or just clicking the little arrow there, and shows their first, middle, last name, which states they're accredited in, which states they're inactive, which category they're in, and their status. So if they're accredited, terminated, expired, and their national accreditation number is there. And if you click on View next to the name, it'll take you to more details on the veterinarian, showing who the record was last updated by, when their renewal date is. You can view their 136A that was submitted, either if it was online, their business address. You can go through these different tabs, and there's state accreditations, the employment details, accreditation renewal, program certifications, and federal actions if they've had any taken against them. And this will be gone in more detail at the next one also. So I guess I'd like to open it up for questions about the first part before we get into how you get access to VSPS, if there's any questions at this time.
All right, Tracy. So if you would like to ask a verbal question, please press #2 on your telephone keypad. You will hear a notification when your line is unmuted. At that time, please then state your name and your question. Or if you would like to send a note, please use the Notes tab on the right-hand side of your screen and address your note to all moderators. Tracy, currently there are no questions in the queue.
Okay, then we'll continue on. So to get started in VSPS, first you need to create a Level 2 E-Auth account. And a lot of people ask, well, what is a Level 2 E-Auth account? So it allows you access to our USDA systems, and the reason why it's Level 2 is because it has higher security requirements than a Level 1 account. A Level 2 means that your identity has been verified by somebody in a local registration authority office, which is usually in a local USDA office in your area. And we do that just because we wouldn't want anybody just requesting access to this system and getting access without verifying who they are, because we have sensitive information in here. So it is a process, but that's the reason behind it, is because it's sensitive information and we need to keep it secure. So to create a level 2 eAuth account, it has a website there to go to. And you can also get to the page by going just to the VSPS website, which you can get to it if you go to Google and just type VSPS. It's the first site that comes up. You can select the Create an Account link. And then on the next page, you would click on the Register for a Level 2 account. And the details that are needed, the required fields are highlighted in red and have an asterisk next to them. So first, last name, address, city, state, zip, country, and your email, and to confirm it again. Looks like there's a delay here. Here we go. Your user ID and password. It gives the requirements under each. So your user ID can't be less than 6 characters, no more than 20. There are special characters that are allowed, or the only special characters that are allowed are listed there, and no spaces are allowed. And after you hit each requirement, that requirement will turn green, so you'll know when you've got something that'll work. And same with password. 12 to 24 characters are required, at least one number, one uppercase, one lowercase, and one special character. They are complex passwords, but again, that is for security reasons, because we don't want people to be able to guess what the passwords are and be able to get into our systems. So after you hit each requirement, it'll turn green, so you'll know that you've made that requirement for your password. Mother's maiden name, birth date, and then a PIN is required, and that's for resetting your password if you have problems. You'll also need to select and answer 4 security questions, and these will be used to reset your password if you forget your password. So it'd be a good idea to make sure you know what these answers are when you select them, in case you need it in the future. So after you've registered, an email will be sent to you within 24 hours, and you'll need to click on the Activate My Account link in that email. You'll need to do this within 7 days. If you don't respond within 7 days, you'll have to restart the whole process by selecting a new username and password, because the link expires after 7 days. So make sure you do it. It usually shows up within minutes, so it'd be best to do it right away. What do you do if you haven't received the registration email or you've deleted it, can't find it? They suggest waiting up to 24 hours for the registration email to arrive. It usually arrives within minutes, but just in case there's delays. So if you haven't received it, check your junk mail folder, check your spam, junk mail, bulk, whatever it's called in your email program. Some internet service providers could possibly block our email thinking it's spam, so you might not even see it in that folder. So if you don't have it after 24 hours, you can contact the E-Auth help desk, and their phone number and email is listed there, and let them know that you did not receive the E-Auth registration email, and they can help you out. So after you've clicked on that Activate My Account link in the email, that's when you need to go to a local registration authority in your area and present your photo ID to, and then they can activate your account and push it to a level 2 access. There's a link there to find the closest LRA in your area. And we recommend calling there first to make sure that person is in the office, because there's usually only 1 or 2 people in the office that have the ability to do that. So after you have your level 2 account, you can go to the VSPS site, which is listed there, and click on Login. And then you'll enter your eAuth user ID and password. The first time you log into VSPS, it will take you to a user profile screen to fill out. You only have to do this once to enter your email address, first name, last name, address, zip code, city, state, country, and a phone number. And then it'll take you to a page to request a role. So you'd select the Request a Role tab if it's not already on it, and scroll down to State Regulatory Official and select the Request State Authorization. On the next screen there, you would select your state and select Request. And you'll get a notice at the top of the screen that your user profile has been updated. And you'll see your role request to the status of requested. The VSIT help desk will see the request, and they should approve it within 48 hours. You don't get notification when that happens, so you just need to go back in and check under your personal profile and go to your roles, and you'll see the status is approved at that time. If it hasn't been approved within 48 hours, you can contact the VSIT help desk, and their phone number and email address is listed there. If you have a user ID and password but it doesn't work, or you forgot what they are, you can go to the VSPS site and log in, or click on Login, and then at the user ID and password screen, you can click on under the I forgot my user ID if you forgot that. And it will ask you to fill out some information. So you'll need to enter your first name, last name, and your email address, and select Continue. And your information, you'll get a confirmation screen, which make sure your information is correct, and then you can select Continue, and they'll send you an email with your user ID. So if you forgot your password, you'd go back to the login screen and select I forgot my password. And under the USDA customers area, you'd select the Continue button. And on the next screen, you'll enter your user ID and select OK. And then this is where it'll ask you to enter the security questions that you answered when you registered. So you'll have to answer at least 3 of them. If your answers were correct, it'll take you to a screen where you'll be able to reset your password. And again, it gives you the password requirements above there, so you know what you'll need. If your security answers were not correct, you'll have to contact the E-Auth help desk to assist you in resetting your password. And again, their phone number and email is listed there. So a lot of people ask, why does E-Auth require such complicated passwords? And I kind of went over that before, but E-Auth protects websites that involve submitting personal and private information as well as financial transactions. So that's why we require such complex passwords. And they're just their security standards are consistent with USDA policies as well as established by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, which determines the security standards for the federal government. So we just have to comply by those standards and policies. This screen just with some password tips. Obviously, you don't have to go by this. It's just some ideas if you're having trouble thinking of a password to do. How do you keep your eAuth account active? The system goes through a cleanup every year, so they recommend to log in at least once a year to keep your account active. If it does go inactive, then you'll have to register for a new account and visit the LRA again to get it pushed to level 2. So it's best to at least log in once a year, keep your account active. put it on your reminder list, and makes everything a lot easier. If you need any assistance with VSPS, you can contact a network associate. There's 9 of us around the country that have been trained to help people in VSPS, so we're here for you, and there's an email address there at the top. A lot of times that's the fastest way to get responses. The first available person will contact you to help you out. But there's also phone numbers, names and phone numbers on the bottom in case it's after hours or an emergency. You can contact us. All right, you can open it up for any questions.
All right, so just a reminder, if you would like to ask a verbal question, you can press #2 on your phone to be put into the question queue. And to send a note, please use the Notes tab on the right-hand side of your screen and address your note to all moderators.
Okay, so we got a question here. He has a level 2 account but can't log into it, and it says his ID is not found in the plateau. I would say that I'm not sure if it's been over a year. That would be my question, is if it's been over a year since you've logged in, then your account is probably not active anymore. And then you'll have to go and request a new one. It has not, as you said, it hasn't been over a year. So then it would probably be a good idea to contact the E-Auth help desk at those, either the email or the phone number there, and they should be able to look up your account and see what's going on with that.
And Tracy, we have no questions in the verbal queue.
Okay.
Oh, we do have a question.
Okay.
Caller, please go ahead.
Hi, this is Shelley Mellenbecker from Vermont. Thank you very much for having this webinar. And this might be something that would be covered in the next webinar, so just let me know. But I'm just wondering, when a veterinarian creates a CVI in VSPS, and maybe you said this earlier too and I just missed it, how does that information end up getting to the appropriate state agencies of agriculture, destination and origination?
Okay, so after they create the CVI in VSPS, and when they issue it, there's an Issue CVI button for them to select. And when that happens, the CVI gets pushed to the origin state and the destination state's systems. So people with SRO Role and those states will be able to go and search and find those certificates.
So the only way I would know that this CVI had been created was if I have been actively going into VSPS to look at them?
Right, yeah, there's no email notification. What's recommended is, have somebody go in once a week, and you can go in and do a search for, a week time frame or 2 weeks or a month or whatever, schedule you guys want to create, and just go in and review them, and that's when you can approve or reject each one.
So there's no, so really it's up to us to go and look at that. There's no way to set up. We just don't have a lot of users of that so far in Vermont, but it looks like we have people that are using it where animals are coming into the state. So is there a way, or has this ever been considered, there's just an automatic email that gets generated to like the SAHO user letting them know we have CVIs, or? That
hasn't really been done because I think it would overwhelm a lot of people's email systems, because there are a lot of states that do a lot of certificates, and they would be getting one every minute or two. You know what I mean? So
gotcha.
That's how the system was built, is that you just have to go in and do a search. So, maybe once a month, if you don't have many, just go in and search for that month and see what is there. So right now there is no email notification system built into VSPS.
Okay. And I noticed that you can approve or reject that CVI. What happens when you reject it?
So again, there isn't an email that goes to the veterinarian. I don't know. You would have to, if it's something serious, you would want to contact them like you would have before if it was a paper one, and let them know, what they need to not do. But when they go into their side of the SPS, they can see that if a certificate has been rejected, and then they can go in and see what you can enter notes on why it was rejected, and they can see those notes. But there is no email notifying them that one has been rejected.
Okay, that's helpful. Thanks. Those are all my questions at this time.
Okay.
There are no more questions in the queue.
Okay, there's another question. How do Coggins results get reported to VSPS? Are all the Coggins results for my state reported here, or just for the vets who are registered with VSPS? So the Coggins results get reported to VSPS. So both the veterinarian submitting the Coggins and the lab has to be set up in VSPS also to report those out to enter the results. And we can also help, we help both veterinarians and labs get set up in VSPS. So if a vet wants to use VSPS to create Coggins, and their lab doesn't use it yet, they can send them our way and we can help them get set up. And so are all of the Coggins results for my state reported here, or just for the vets who are registered? So yeah, it would just be for the veterinarians that are registered in VSPS. So there was a question, it was their understanding that there is a rejection notice sent to the state animal health official in the state of origin when a CVI is rejected, along with the reason. I guess Chris or Renee, do you know, I didn't think emails were sent out. Did that change?
This is Renee. I don't think there are any emails. And this is Chris. I agree. I certainly can follow up and just verify that to be absolutely sure, but I don't think so.
You said to check with Jamie Snow. That was part of the original design.
Yes. Right. That's who I'm going to check with.
Yeah, it may have been, I don't know, because I know it hasn't for a while, so I can see it would be a nice feature, though. So.
Do you have a verbal question?
Okay.
Caller, please go ahead.
Hi, this is Carrie Sexton from Massachusetts, and I've just gone through for the first time and selected some CVIs, and I get to the review part, and I'm getting an error message, not authorized to review selected CVIs. Any idea why?
And you have the SRO role, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And are you selecting multiple checkboxes and then review selected?
Yes.
Okay.
How would I verify what role I have?
If you go to the personal profile on the left side and then go to My Roles.
Okay. Yes, state regulatory official.
Okay. I would just, you could try just selecting, have we tried just selecting like 3 or 4 of the boxes and then view selected? See if that works?
But I'll go back and I'll try that. Okay.
Okay.
But the SRO role is the one that should allow me the ability to do this. How about if not, I'll go on and contact the help desk.
I just wanted to verify that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can email that group, and then one of us will get with you after this.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I would do the VSPS training network, that email, and then someone will help.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Caller, please go ahead. Your line is unmuted.
Hello, this is Victor in California. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have a question concerning the ECVI. Has there been any updates in the last few months or years, and is there any plans for future updates? I know it was mentioned about the possibility of emailing notification to the states of rejection. Is that something on the works?
I think Chris was going to check on the emailing portion. And I guess I'm not sure how long ago it was. Was it 2 years ago where there was some major updates to the creating the CVI and VSPS, which has really helped the system a lot. That might have been 2 or 3 years ago. So it's much more user-friendly than when it came out many years ago. So.
And yes, I'll go ahead and verify if emails are sent, and if yes, under what circumstances. So we'll just verify. I'll get that clarified for sure so we can get everybody the correct answer.
Carla, if we don't have anything else, I think it's okay to go ahead and wrap up.
All right. All right. Thank you all for joining today's conference. The session has now concluded, and you may now disconnect.